They're back with another video. It only says 52 minutes left. I have to get some stuff off this phone. There's no space. I'll go back with another video. I got another video to do on Bill Rebane here. Last time I showed the box set, that was back in June. I haven't done a video for a while, really, except some drum things and some music things I put on there and some commentaries with the came from me to see Ray Harryhausen film, my favorite film he did in 1955 that came out. It's not a lot of budget, Christ, a lot. It's all in the commentary on there. And I did some scenes in the trailer. And did those. And I plan on doing a video on him soon. Ray Harryhausen with some of my movies and DVDs and some cool stuff with that. I never met him or got his autograph, but I actually have Bill Rebane's autograph here on a couple of things. I showed the box at the last kind of weird Wisconsin Bill Rebane collection show I did last time. Set this right here's my glass closet. Set this here for now. J card. I actually got this from him at the mail. I didn't even pay for this. It's on Amazon for $30. I think it's like 50 or more on his website for JohnnySweaterVision.com. I think something like that. Look on my computer. I think it's something. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this is the scrapbook, and he actually signed the front. I took it to Monster Bash, and it actually got wet outside in June. I was at the Monster Bash convention. They had to drive Riverside Drive into Vandergrift, PA here. It actually has his autograph that got wet, if you see it up there. He actually signed the inside of it. And David, my friend, all the best, Bill Rebane, he put that there. This is a pretty awesome scrapbook. I talked to him on, I think that was Thursday night I talked to him. Yeah, he said he wasn't doing well. I think that was Thursday night I talked to him. Yeah, for like 12 minutes. He said he wasn't well, or maybe it was Wednesday, I think, but I forgot. The date's on my computer, but he said he wasn't doing well. He said that he's not really working on anything right now, and the power is going to go. I was only talking about 12 minutes. The lights are flickering in his place in Wisconsin. He's not even going to do any conventions. He's not going out of state. I have that recorded. I talked to him like 12 minutes. I recorded on the microphone I have here, which you can't see because it's on the right, on the left, and you can't. The scanner's over there. I can show you. It's not hooked up right now, but. This is right here. This is hard to fucking do with this thing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there and everything's hooked up, that's all. Right here. It's just with the USB cable. This is fucked up. This is. Right here. It just needs hooked up with the USB cable. That's right, hanging right here. So that I recorded on that and talked to him. But this is the scrapbook, and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. I'm not going to go through it all, but there's I didn't even read it, but there's about comes in at 155 pages. The back has some of his other movies. I can just there's some cool poster art at the end of the video where I can show that. There's I didn't even this is with the musical and stuff. It's his niece's. Well, I talked to his niece on Facebook also. And the Giants whatever special 2-disc edition DVDs in '08 that they pulled from a release that they only made so many copies and they pulled them. Let's see, he was fighting over the rights. Retromania went to court because they tried to sell. He said he tried to pull a few tricks under the table in an interview with him on the Alpha, and said Blood Harvest, they were supposed to take his Nightmare, he took his Blood Harvest and sold it, and then I guess they tried to sell Giant Spider Invasion to a foreign distributor on a different region, DVD, like a Power region over under the table, and that he went to court over that, and he got them to release this, but it was pulled because of that. This 2-disc, I have this, I'm going to show this, and there's a cool collage of somebody made, Visit Gleason, the home of the Giant Spider Invasion. Maybe depending on artspictures.com, maybe an email. Maybe it has the website I was talking about. But this is the stuff on the website actually. GiantSpiderInvasion.com. If I'm not mistaken, like I said, this is pretty cool. It's got Twister's Revenge 88, Giant Spider Invasion 75, Nightmare, also has Blood Hearts 87, Alpha Incident 77, aka Gift for a Red Planet, also known as Demons of Ludlow 83, and the Cold alternate title of the game 84. 84 that came out, yep, and it's got the DVD-Rs that he released to them. Cover art on the left page. Crew of the Demons of Ludlow, Moon's Hollywood. It's got some cool stuff here. They're all just like moving the moon in the camera with their asses. This is pretty funny. It's got the poster for the. That's actually the VHS box, maybe. It looks like for the Demons of Ludlow. It's, I don't know, it's like it's the shape of VHS box. It looks like it could be a poster. I don't know. That's pretty cool. It's got that moon, and it's got a picture of Kevin Brody and Leslie Parrish underneath Ev, and Dave Perkins, the newspaper. You know, he writes for John. That's a shot from Giant Spider Invasion. Ray Herson. There's Ron, the Legend of Shadow Lake 81 here, and Nightmare 87. It's the DVD-Rs, and it's Dance Craze and Capture Bigfoot 79. That's a good one. Bill Rebane actually had an encounter with a Bigfoot. That's why he made that film. He shot that in Wisconsin winter. It was like really, had to been below zero. It's ridiculous. He was like real bold and in your face and down and dirty, raw filmmaking, like guerrilla film, like Larry Buchanan from the 60s and after. He did like really low budget stuff. I actually did an interview with his son, Jeff, in June. I'll have to talk about him some more in that interview. We'll go on. Someone went on YouTube to lock this horror clip from that movie. I put a commentary with it. We were watching the movie and just stuck it with the movie, and I asked him some questions about it. But I'll talk more about him after I listen to that interview again. I only heard it once. Let's see what's on the next pages. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there's pictures of them making the insert stage. His that chicken coop he claimed I had turned into a editing room and all that stuff, and all that for the when he made his films and the shooting range in Gleason, Wisconsin. He established that in the early 70s. First fully functional film studio outside of Hollywood. Yeah, there's just about that. There's some stuff from Giant Spider Invasion. That's what the book is, and there's other stuff about how he's making the studio. Let's see, there's just some really cool stuff in here. I have to look at this. There's a real tarantula. There's Leslie Parrish. That's a nice picture of Robert Easton and Christina Schmidberg, the German actress. It was like a sex symbol. She's did some other films. That's looking at her more. I think I've seen a movie she's done. I didn't even know who she was. This before I saw. Might have been before I saw Giant Spider Invasion, but that's a cool picture. There's just different pictures of the sets and the spiders. They actually look like golf balls as spider eyes. And that's what they stuck in there. Maybe I don't know how I get them bigger, but that's what they look like. That's pretty much it's black and white stuff. There's his wife, Barbara Hale, working with Wally's movies. Construction of the spider. Him and Bob Lane, another welder, built the spider that was built into the Volkswagen. And then there's another one, the one they had on the crane. They built that for free. $10,000 that they had max to spend on special effects. And he actually said they went over budget some. He said that was a no. They actually went over budget some on the film. It's so hard to break into films, even music. If I'm going to break into anything, I'm trying to break into the drummer, maybe commentaries. Like I have like the knowledge of a film, a story. Anybody that watched my videos like this or the commentaries with the clips of trailers knows I'm like I can do a whole movie. But my brother told me just to put like clips on or not to do a whole movie. But even if it's like Bill Rebane didn't care if I put his on or didn't, but I know I could try it, but he acts like it's not going to work, but I guess I can try it. But I have over 510 subscribers. I think I have 510 subscribers on YouTube now. There's some newspaper clippings that they scanned and put in here. Some really cool stuff. There's black and white. There's color stuff. It's a lot of it's black and white. There's some really cool pictures. And this shot never even made it into the movie. It's pretty awesome. Jenny Langer and Vance the Spider running after them. There's a lobby card of it, but it looks like they drew the spider. It's art. This is the actual spider. The one on the top right here never made it into the film. Of course, this is the infamous scene when it knocks him down the hill. And on the other side, they had a picnic table set up, he said, where they were smoking pot, the whole 9 yards, he said. They're going to have their headquarters, he said they called it. There's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go through it all, but you should grab this if you can. Diane Lee Horton played Terry. Picture her squashing the spider with the iron. Fake spider. They probably pulled out the real one and stuck it in some fake thing, and then she just squashed it because it was so fast you couldn't see it. What it was really. Let's go back to where we were. Well, that was it actually. Dance Crazy to Capture a Bigfoot. Rana and that, like I said, I might not show this, but here. So that's Rana, the DVR, and then Nightmare underneath it, Capture a Bigfoot. Dance Crazy is up the top there. He did Twist Crazy too, from American International 62 to 63, I think it came out. Yep. This is pretty awesome. I have to scan this still, and I have to scan that still, and actually made something for Bill Rebane. Well, I didn't make this. I actually made this in art school in '04, I believe, in the Oak Ridge Academy, and I was gonna get a photo, get it printed out on like big Walmart, some big photo paper, like a poster, 12 by 5, whatever, something like that. And this is pretty awesome. This is a giant spider. Actually, that's before they're running up the hill, but it's not showing them. It's before they're right below there. But this is the spider coming down the hill. They're coming up, getting ready to knock down the hill from the spider that comes up. That's giant spider. I made that in art school, actually. That's pretty awesome. I sent them the real one. I could even autograph it. Yeah, I'll probably autograph the poster print I sent to him. And I was going to send him some things to autograph from that box set there by the end of this month, early next month. So then I got some other things here. I got a collector's edition of Monster Go-Go 2010. It came out. That's the one he didn't finish. It was a pretty big budget for a bigger budget B movie. He shot in the early 60s. Herschel Lewis finished it, put that narration and ruined the film. It's got the, I like the smell. It's got the reprint of Scary Monsters magazine, the article on the film. This comes in at 21 pages. 22 it's the back of it too. Special collector's edition DVD supplement. Yeah, this is a reprint. I haven't even read this. I should. Maybe I'll do like a commentary and just with the movie, just sit there and read this whole thing. I don't know if I get in trouble. I hope I wouldn't get in trouble. I don't think he doesn't care if I do it, so I don't think it would matter. But that's copyrighted. But it's got a commentary of Joe Rubin and someone he doesn't like. He did the commentary when he was nobody until he got discovered. The film Jess was working remotely with him, and he discovered by Vinegar Syndrome, and they put out Blood Harvest illegally. He got the rights from the Widow's distributor. And Bill Rebane had the rights to the negative, he said, because he's the director of photography on it. He should have directed it. He might produce it too. Yeah, it's got the booklet, 24-page booklet featuring In-depth articles, Monster Go from the page of Scary Monsters magazine. The film's original title, Terror at Half Day, I'm sure you know. Shorts from Bill Rebane, Dance Craze, Twist Craze, like I said, 62, 63. Theatrical trailer, original black and white film trailer. Audio commentary, director Bill Rebane, cult firm historian Joe Rubin. Interviews Bill Rebane. That's Corey Other conducts the interview. It's like 10 minutes. He just talks about the movie. He says pretty much doesn't like it. Why me? Just, yeah. He's like, I'm surprised it's still got its legs. To ask is why me? He said the title Monster Go surely has something to do with it. He said if you'd have kept it as a Terror Half Day, you maybe would have reached the point it did today. It's just pretty much an interview about him with the movie. With some mishaps. The commentary goes more in depth, but this is like on eBay at $50. It's been out of print. I got this when it first came out in 2010. Culture and Saturday Entertainment released it 2010. Yep, that's nice. That movie has its ups and downs. There's some acting, some good acting, some good scenes. And the narration, stupid. The ending, it had potential, just didn't have enough money to finish. It's a shame. Yeah, the Union crew, and Herschel Gordon Lewis actually had that happen with the Union crew, and he got kicked and had to leave town because he shot a movie without a Union crew, and Bill Rebane had to. It's like, so in Chicago, you're total life. You shot movies too, but here's that 2-disc thing I'm talking about, the giant spider invasion. Got disc 1, it's got the movie. Let me just get the back of it. Should have read Monster Go, I guess I can go back to it. But giant spiders from another dimension in Bay, Wisconsin. The special 2-disc edition includes a new restored director's cut interview with director Bill Rebane, the original theatrical DVD audio commentary by director Bill Rebane, rare 8mm version, and slideshow and more. Second disc is full of like almost 2 hours of bonus extras, interviews, and all kinds of stuff. Them finding the spider in the woods and resurrecting it, the Volkswagen chassis one. 1975, 80 minutes, yep, plus 112 minutes of bonus extras. When you say Wisconsin, what comes to mind? Cheese, the Packers, cows, snow. Say Wisconsin, a cult movie, and the response you get is Bill Rebane. Bill is not only a state treasure, but a cult film treasure who has yet to receive his proper due. When you hear the stories of Bill's preservations in the films, preservations in the making, the film you hold in your hands, you may laugh or cry or shake your head in amazement. But one thing I guarantee you will do is gain a new respect for this. You will do is gain respect for this man who didn't run to Hollywood, but brought Hollywood on the back of a Volkswagen chassis covered in bearskin rugs to Wisconsin. The Giant Spider Invasion is without a doubt my personal favorite cult film of all time. It's actually mine too. I have an original Giant Spider movie poster framed in my living room. I have a piece of spider behind my bar, and that bar was built by Bill Rebane. I'm honored to pay tribute to Bill Rebane, his cult classic, The Giant Spider Invasion. Corey Other, writer, filmmaker, biggest Bill Rebane fan in the world. Bill Rebane actually said I was his biggest fan when I interviewed him, but I talked to him on the phone. But he actually lives near him, so he met him, but he don't know where he lives now. He hasn't even really talked to him. Bill Rebane's not in contact with him anymore, but there's a lot of big fans, I guess. That guy that Dylan interviewed him that has that podcast, Walter Paisley, website character from Roger Corbin's A Buck of the Blood interview him. He knew more stuff that I didn't know about him. So actually, I didn't listen to all of it, but I listened to the beginning of it just to see what it was all about. He seemed to know a few things I didn't know. I'll have to see the whole thing and see if he knows more than I do about Bill. But that's pretty awesome. I can go back. I'll just go back to Monster Go-Go. Hell with it. Monster Go-Go is a misunderstood masterpiece and the worst movie ever made. It's 1965. The U.S. space program was off to a good start, but one of our astronauts is missing. A lost space capsule came down in the woods near Chicago, but the pilot is nowhere to be found. Suddenly, a radioactive 10-foot-tall giant in spacesuit appears, begins terrorizing a nearby community. Is there a connection? Scientists and military intelligence must find the monster, solve the mystery before every bikini-wearing Watusi dancing girl area meets her demise. First feature film director Bill Rebane began his ambitious personal film project in 1961, hoping to make a serious science fiction movie. When funds ran out after a year of sporadic production and problems with the Chicago unions, the footage from the unfinished epic was sold to an infamous gore and exploitation producer, Herschel Gordon Lewis. I thought he's a director too. 2000 Maniacs I've seen 64, and then I've seen Blood Feast from 63. It's not mentioned here, but who saw it to make a quick profit from it? He re-edited the film, changed the ending, inserted new scenes, screaming changes, and released it drive-ins at the bottom of the double bill of, he said, Moonshine Mountain. In the South, he needed a code feature for Moonshine Mountain, so he added this film. He released another double one of the campy title Monster A Go-Go in 1965. Bill saw it later, like, this is not what I want, I don't know what this is. He just wanted to quit the whole business. He was so discouraged. He didn't know where that title came from. It was not the title he had. The movie received even less respect from the ad campaign, which marketed as a comedy. The one sheet blurps like, you've never seen a picture like this, thank goodness. I got my lava lamp behind here going to it. That'd be cool to do that. Actually, they have some lights over there, a couple lamps, and that would be bright enough to see this in here. I guess it is. I got my computer screen, even though it's on the night light. Should Bill Rebane, its unfinished sci-fi opus, have remained on this shelf? The forgotten demise of a passionate young filmmaker? Or should we thank Horst Gross for slapping it together, making it the inherent cult classic is to say, you decide. Wait a second. Making an inherent cult classic it is today, you decide. And this little thing on this, John Swiver is actually not a real director's cut. He lost a lot of footage. He said he had pictures he showed Corey Other's house on all these other discs on the show here. So that's a slap to go director's cut. There's actually a scene in the house explode, which came from Raw and the Legend of Shadow Lake. So this is not really a director's cut. Slapped together director's best. And he looks at a director's cut differently. Anyways, he thinks that they're shorter. Like Dawn of the Dead is actually 2 hours and 25 minutes. The director's cut of that, something like that. And the original runs about 2 hours and 7. So I mean, they're supposed to be longer. It's supposed to be footage did make it into the theatrical cut. He looks at it as he cuts them out of the director's cut and puts stuff in, or that he had left from that movie, or he looks at them different, which is kind of unique. The director's cut's usually longer. That's Monster A Go-Go. There's Giant Spider-Man I went through. And here's the Blu-ray, of course, of Giant Spider-Man. So got the comic. It's nicer than the old Retro Mini with just some cardboard thing. This is a full open thing that opens up. That's actually pictures of that in that book I was showing, that scrapbook too. Got this. I read it before. I have seen it read several times. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. The Dallas newspaper uses this to promote the film in October '75 when it was released. Got the Blu-ray here and the DVD, the bonus DVD. Deluxe Collector's Edition. VCI Entertainment, widescreen 1.85.1, shot in Panavision, DTS HD Master Audio. 2015 this came out. Deluxe Collector's Edition. Main feature at Size Doesn't Matter by Daniel Griffith, Super 8mm re-edited in HD. It's a Super 8mm version. Behind the scenes film original trailer and TV spots. Plus the Super 8 version, original home media format, archival interviews with Bill Rebane, that's cool, etc. Archival interview with Rob Reason, which is incomplete. It cuts off, it's not the whole interview. But Kevin Murphy and Mr. Science here. Mike Nelson introduced Bill Rebane on this Raw. There's a lot of stuff on this, actually. More stuff than the freaking that 2 disc one I showed that was 08. It came out. It was on Amazon, so I got it when it first came out. It was about $25, I think it cost. Maybe it was 30. It was 25 or 30, I think. There's the Blu-ray. So read this. Creeping, clawing, crushing. And this hilariously cheesy is right back to the Giants Monster flicks in 1950s. Giant spiders from outer space begin to invade Earth after a huge black hole appears in a farmer's field outside the town of Wisconsin. NASA scientists deduces the invasion as a result of some sort of intergalactic gateway. There's always a plan to stop the huge hairy creepy crawlers from devouring the local population. Yeah, I don't think it's cheesy. He had the budget, he couldn't afford it, and they get one the bigger spider. I'm looking at it that way, but I get into it. The bloody chills when that spider devours it. There's some really good scenes when it attacks Dan Kessler and eats the devours him. The queen spider. I get into it like it's real. I don't laugh at it. He doesn't like the outcome, but I'm sure, yeah, you know, he's most proud of Alphonse and some of the other ones. He doesn't like them being laughed at. Nobody likes their. Well, Blythe, like when they laughed at the Kara Monster and Conquer the World when it came out of the cave in the film he made for Roger Corman. He's not credited, but it was about 10 feet high. Built a balsa wood frame. It was rubber, and he had the eyes glowing. The hands, the arms were lobster claws, and he had the teeth move, and it was pretty cool. It was either the crew or the theater or both. The people when they saw it in the theater, the audience laughed at. He didn't like that. That upset him. But here's the special features and plus liner notes. Tom Shock. Tom Stockman. WeAreMovieGeeks.com, the liner notes on the reverse side. Movie documentary by Daniel Griffith. The size of the matter of making the giant spider invasion is about 15 minutes. I saw that several times. Super 8 rated HD version. I read all this. I read pretty much. Archive with Rebane on the side of Verona. It's just like condensed. The way they have it worded on the discs, it's just like more. There's just more detail about this stuff on the back. These are just straightforward, shorter, so they can fit it on the Blu-ray and the DVD. That CD I have too, the music we said was illegal. They weren't supposed to distribute. That's not inhabited in my bookcase over with my CDs. Like I have Devo, Gary Newman, and Tubes, and the Cars. A lot of the music I like from the 70s. Some live recordings on CD, or I traded for people. I collect a lot of live music. I like live music better. That's over there with all the other CDs and stuff I have. The Spider Invasion musical. This is pretty cool. I'm not gonna read all this, but I want to make this shorter than the other one, about 30 minutes. I thought I had something else. He signed that one that they released, and I guess it's over there. I have to go get it. Oh, here it is. I didn't see it. So I'm not gonna read all this now. I want to keep this to about a half hour. Anybody has it, I've already read it before. And I have it scanned. All these are all scanned. They're all, some of them are on Facebook, and they're in my folders on my computer. So. Pretty cool. Got a few more things here. This is the Giant Spider Revisited, released in 05. Well, it was 6 in the summer, came 05. They made it. It was made for the 25th anniversary. This is pretty awesome. He's actually signed this. Because I spoke with his wife, Barbara. She was still alive through an email Outlook Express. I used my mom's email then. We used to have a Gateway computer, 34 gigabyte hard drive. Those days. So it's actually manufactured on demand and burned. He signed this before it was sold and signed. It was about $30 when it came up. I don't know how many people have this, but I haven't, because I sold the Retro Media one to Eyes. I didn't really need this. A lot of the stuff on there was the interview with him and the I think it was the interview, the song Goal introduction, and the trailer. That stuff is all on the other stuff. There's no reason to keep it. There's all kinds of stuff there's not on the other ones. There's features, still gallery, Spider-Man Madison, Reliving the Invasion, Spider-Man Madison, some kind of news segment. Then the second disc got the commentary of the movie. It has the sound's not that great on it. It's hard to hear the movie, and the sound's not that good on it. And there's actually a picture in the corner of Bill Rebane watching it with Corey Udler. He moderates the commentary. And Spider Files, his house going through the stuff like I was telling you about some of the stories. Their old news story, Wisconsin movie Spider Scrapbook segment. This is how sexy came out. That's pretty cool. They're burned. But here's the second. This is the first disc. This is the one Bill Rebane has the rights to, actually. And you can see that it's burned because it's got the purplish blue hue. That's disc 1. There's disc 2. I scanned these also, they're all on. That's pretty awesome. I read the back. It's here 30 years later. The King of All Classic Movies, 30th anniversary issue. 2-disc interactive Whopper. Giant Spider-Man Revisited. The 2-disc set includes interviews with director Bill Rebane, production stills billing of the Spider, feature with commentary from the director, as well as finding some of the Spider some 30 years later in interviews and more. Once upon a time in a state not so far away, Fire Media crashed Earth, nearly destroying the Kester Farm in the village of Wisconsin. The observatory at the University of Wisconsin's Stevens Point campus tracked the Fire Meteor traveling through space. Little did they know this meteor would wreak havoc on Earth. This is Corey's introduction, actually, on here. It gave Lincoln County Sheriff Alan Hale one big headache. While the pastures around the Kester farm were on fire, Miss Leslie Parrish Kester was imbibing drinks in a stiff drink of scotch. Gospel Wanger preacher Tannenbach was yelling at his congregation.
Congregation, fire and brimstone. That's what's in store for you. Robert Easton Kester was visiting his endowed and wicked flimsy Christina Schwimmer, and it was too late for the Kesters to save their cows. The meteorite had done more damage than what anyone thought. Sheriff Allen Hill was besides himself, advising callers to let your fingers do the walking. While Barbara Hale was late for court on the Perry Mason show. As she was too busy chatting with Steve Brody, then came the final fateful day when the first spider hatched and found its way into a blender in the Bloody Mary cocktail. Lo and behold, then came another one, the big one that was to make the Volkswagen Beetle movie history. Produced and edited by Corey, materials furnished by Bill Rebane, additional film interviews furnished by Kinostat Films, Dave Belmont. He did some things with Bill Rebane. It's pretty important. Bill Rebane's a nice guy. He moved on to bigger things. He told me on the phone. Being an interview, Silver Street International. This was on SilverStreetPictures.com or something years ago. Jacket design, beige gray, copyrighted 6. Yep, this is pretty sweet. That's the one I've had. That's the first I got the Retro Made DVD in 05, and then I got that in 06, and then I got the 2-disc 108, then I got the Blu-rays of Monster Bash in 08, the bonus DVD. This is Ron the Legend of Shadowlake, also known as Croak Frog Monster from Hell. This is actually pretty awesome. Was I actually talked to Brad Ellington, the kid actor in this. This is actually going to go over 30 minutes because I'm not done yet, but might be the same runtime as the other one. Maybe more. But I actually talked to Brad Ellington on Facebook. He's the kid actor and plays Kelly. Because there's an older guy that tells a story and he goes back in time, backtracks. And I actually interviewed him on Facebook about this. This is going to come out in one of the next Pitverse magazines at pitverse.org for I'll do an interview with Alpha, and so there's going to be an interview with Bill Rebane. I might do a solo Icon Invasion with the Giant Spider Invasion, then do the interview with Brad on Rana, and then the Alpha and someone with Bill Rebane and write the articles. But Brad actually signed this on the inside of this. Let's just show the first part of the front of it first. It's Trauma put this out. Really good print of this movie. It's maybe VHS. It's a good transfer. It's remixed in 5.1 surround. Ron the Legend of Shadowlake also knows Croak Frog Monster from Hell. So it was not unintentionally a throwback to Creature from the Black Moon. It came out that way, but it wasn't intentional, so it's unintentional. But it's pretty nice. And Brad actually signed the inside. He signed his name is so unique. He put the kid Hero Kelly, the kid Hero Kelly who fought Ron on one. I actually told him to put that, and he signed his name there. He signed it with a freaking, that looks like a gold permanent marker. Then he put that looks like a Sharpie. He signed it with one of those Sharpie markers. That's pretty nice. He didn't want to sign it from it, mess up the cover. He said for some reason it only runs 89 minutes. Released in 81 since 1975, which is wrong because it was 81. I found that later on the Rana Makers thing. Because it said after Capture of Bigfoot, he was talking about the one previous to that was Capture of Bigfoot. He did, so this is 81, and it said on 81 later, so it came out later. Yeah, on it, or at least it wasn't 75 on here. It says it's 93 minutes is how long the VHS I was going to show next to original Burbank VHS from 93. I think he came out in the early 90s, so this is pretty nice. He signed that, so here's the disc. Giant Frog is not even what it is in the movie. It's a half man, half frog, like Creature from the Black Lagoon. I don't know why it has it on the front, but that's misleading. It's just this time the frog that's actually directed by Bill Rebane. Be a movie well made. He didn't like the Karen, whatever her name is. Forget her name, but the actress that played the archaeologist should have been ichthyologist, but he thought she was a weak link to the film, and he took her out of them. He has some cut of it, his own director's cut he did, and he took her out of it. He thought she wasn't good in it, whatever her name was, Karen whatever. Karen McDermott, he didn't like her in the movie, he told me. She was alright, I didn't think she was that great either, but the other actors were good. The actors that did the choreography scenes, the guys that fought with Kelly's dad, those were they Slovak actors? Something like that. They actually did real choreography and did really well, and some of them actually hit each other. They just didn't hit each other really hard. But Scandinavian or something like that. That they were real stunt actors, stunt guys, did choreography and stuff like that. And here's the VHS tape for Ron the Legend of Shadowlake that I actually taped it up, but because I didn't want to get it messed up when I was a kid, I got this on eBay like '05 or something. This is one of the. I think this. I'm trying to remember. I know I saw Giant Spider Invasion in 2000 or in high school. I think I got the tape from Hollywood Zag as a public domain copy, really crappy transfer, like a raw, scratchy. Color was faded too on it. And then I think I think this is the second. I'm trying to remember. Invasion from Earth was the second Bill Rebane movie I think I saw. Then I saw this and I saw Alphas. I think that was the order. If I'm mistaken, but actually he actually signed this also. But Dave, thanks for being a super fan and put his name on the back. See it there in the light. Yeah, it even says on the back of this, if you ever dissected a frog, beware the frog monster's coming for you. A riveting tale of aquatic terror. Croaked frog monster help leaps at you with haunting suspense, exotic locations, heart-pounding action. It's actually shot in a lake in Wisconsin. This was a shooting range film too. He did all location stuff except for the house was his insert 3540 set he made the house. The thrilling tension, deliverance, and unforgettable classic terror, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Swamp Thing are combined in this paralyzing amphibious savage. Croaked frog monster, also known as Ron the Legend of Shad, like 1981 to 75, but like I said, color 89 minutes, not rated violence. Jay Greger has produced it. Bill Rebane met him in the 60s for WGN TV in Chicago, and the radio stuff. He met him there in the mailroom, he said, on the commentary for Monster Go-Go. So there's that, and here's the VHS for Ron the Legend of Shad Lake. Yep, this is actually runs 93 minutes. This one's a little longer. Beneath the murky depths of Shad Lake lies an ancient and priceless treasure of gold. That's what's different about he guards his treasure that he doesn't guard, and Creature doesn't do that. Then he carries off the girl in jeans and tight jeans and pants when he breaks in the house. That makes my hair and body chill. That's an awesome scene. I put that at the end of the interview actually on the slideshow. Trip clips from Alphas in the trailer, and then there's a couple clips from Giant Spider Invasion. I mentioned him, and then the end has Raw on because we talked about it at the end before I had the phone calls over the interview. Like, yep, treasure of gold. Legend has it that the lake is inhabited by Ron, an evil frog-like creature, fierce and ferocious protector of the gold. Since childhood, Kelly Morgan has been haunted by terrifying memories of his gruesome encounter with this underwater beast. Now, as a man, Kelly returns to Shad Lake determined to retrieve the treasure any way he can. His perilous quest filled with gripping suspense and terror. He has no idea that the horror awaits him at Shadow Lake, but his girlfriend does know what I'm looking forward to. Yep, Burbank Video. 1991, I was close. At 93, I was close, but this is pretty awesome. And like I said, he said there's a science fiction up there, and that's cool. It's a science fiction horror thriller or horror science fiction thriller, whatever you want it. Could be either one, but in the back he signed it. David, thanks for being a super fan. Rattlings, and he actually has a wife and kids now. He lives in Wisconsin. He's real into NASCAR racing and stuff, some cool stuff, sports and stuff. He's a big fan of sports. I think he said go Flyers. Like he told me like the Flyers when we talked on there. I haven't talked to him. I'll have to check up on him again, but that's everything there. That's pretty nice. And there's the video. Oh, it's about 40 minutes here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Next I'm gonna be doing another one. I got somebody to sign some things, and a special makeup effects artist, a favorite of mine, Master of Illusions. I'm gonna have him. He signed some things. I'm gonna go through those, and then I'm gonna do one on music, one on Diva and Gary Newman, and then one on Terry Moore, or probably AmeriCorps or Terry Moore, Peggy Castle. I'm gonna go through my pictures and some of my magazines, and one time I'll go through the movies. I hope you enjoy this video. Subscribe, and see you later.